to you, gentlemen.
Andy, welcome back. I was very worried yesterday, as you know, and so I hope that a good night's sleep that you had and I didn't have, because I'm worried about that board meeting later this afternoon to explain all these goofiness that went on to my company. So I hope you have some good news for me. I ask you to give me a report that I can take back to my board of directors. I've got Jeff Jacoby here on the line. You remember we had Jay on the line, my chief revenue officer. I had to fire him. He didn't do the job. He had no revenues, and I don't know whose fault it was, but I'm capricious that way. So Jeff is my CIO, and he's going to keep you honest. So let's go. Let's see how you can help me figure out what to do this afternoon. Over to you, Andy.
Well, I'm sorry that the CFO had to go, but in good news, I don't know who the replacement is. However, we do currently have our e-commerce site backing up.
Oh, that's good.
Our customers are able to go in and make purchases and buy things from us.
Great.
Sadly, we have had troubles with the Open EMR service, so currently our customers cannot access their medical records. However, we have a team of specialists working on that right now. We also are unable to have the email available for our customers, so I don't think that customer support can reach out to problems that customers may be having.
Hey Andy, a few questions. So how long was the e-commerce site down?
The e-commerce site was down until around 2 p.m. yesterday, and then it's been up since then.
Okay, and if email is down, how are we giving confirmation to clients that are using the e-commerce site that the transactions are being processed?
Currently, those emails are not going through,
okay,
which is not good. However, if they receive the product, then they'll know that they bought it.
Okay, but once they kind of go through the e-commerce site and submit, that they're pretty much
currently there's no email confirmation to that.
All right.
Andy, do you have my report?
You report?
Oh dear.
I thought it was supposed to be a verbal thing
from meeting. Remember I said be prepared to give me a report that I can take to the board. Well, let's do the best you can. Do you remember the 3 things I asked you to prepare for?
You want me to say what systems impact customers, the current situation,
right?
And also if we need something specially
to
let you know.
So why don't you just march down that?
So currently the systems that are impacting the customers the most are the Open EMR, our medical server, as well as the email server, as they're not getting the confirmation from the web store, and they currently can't access medical records. And good news, we have been able to put up a few systems on our network. Like we have a Nessus tool now, which allows us to scan for vulnerabilities, and will hopefully let us try to get those machines back up and running. Another system that also impacts customers, it's less that they can't really see it, but it will affect things on the back end, is that our Security Onion security box, which allows us to kind of keep tabs on the network, currently is not reaching other boxes, or it's not reaching the rest of our machines in the network, and we're currently troubleshooting that right now.
So how are you assessing the health of the system overall if that security server isn't able to talk with others?
So we've moved a lot of that work onto our server that is handling the bind DNS. It's running on a Linux machine. It's now running Nessus, and it's been doing scans on the general network and been keeping tabs on that.
Since you met yesterday with Costas and Jay and you gave an initial assessment, what's really changed since then?
The biggest thing that's changed is we do have the e-commerce site back up and running. We feel pretty confident that will stay up for a while, or for the rest of the competition. The other thing that has changed is we've had a lot more difficulty keeping up the medical record site. We've seen people coming in from Pakistan trying to take down the machine, and we're currently working on getting that back up. And the current situation also is not the best for one of our Windows machines that's handling the Active Directory. The manager on that box faced some troubles earlier on yesterday, and we're still currently working through those.
Andy, think through with me. I remember your team is not very big. What do you have, 8 people, including
Mhm.
yourself? So, given all this terrible story that I'm hearing, what additional resources would you have enjoyed to have, whether they're human, software, hardware, that would have perhaps mitigated this? I mean, it's no use crying over spilled milk. I'm going to have to take my whipping this afternoon with the board. I'll probably lose my bonus that I was so much looking forward to. So I'm going to remember that. But what could you have done better? Where would you have needed some more resources?
The biggest thing we could have done better was getting workstations set up near the start of the competition or start of the scenario. A few of our people attempted to get the 2 workstations that the company had set up for us to work. However, we were unable to do that near the start, which meant that our firewall user was unable to access the main web terminal for that until later in the competition. So having that off the bat would have been a big help. Other than that, I guess having the security onion or security scanning tool being more pre-configured so that we don't have to spend the hour, 2 hours it takes to actually download and set everything up would be good.
So given the current state, Andy, what's your priorities? Just run through the top 3 priorities right now for the team.
Our biggest 2 priorities are to get the medical record system back up as well as the security onion system. Currently, one of the subnets on the system doesn't seem to be working, and we're trying to get that back in tabs. We also want to hold on to what we have now. We know that the e-commerce site is really big for generating revenue for the company. We don't want to lose that. So we're putting a lot of our resources towards keeping that machine all good. We've been running scans on it, including the NESA scan, to try to see if there's any other vulnerabilities that we might have overlooked before in prior days to lock down now.
And if you're unsuccessful at getting the email system back up, have you thought through other alternative ways to be able to reach our customers or clients, just to get them feedback?
Well, currently we do have one very functional machine in the one of our DNS machines, and we've put other tools on it before, so we might consider moving over that service onto that machine.
Okay. And just one other question: do you know why the commerce machine went down? Do you have insight into what actually happened?
I believe we do. I don't have specific events or files because I was not. I'll have to go talk to one of my team members about that. However, we believe that members from the red team or Hackistan had gotten into the machine and misconfigured the website layout. So they had messed with the underlying structure of the web server, which meant that the web server would break on top.
But do you have any insight how they got in?
We do. We found some suspicious things inside the system, including some things called cron, which were tasks that run every few minutes. And there was one that was calling out and sending a shell out to the hackers. And sadly, we didn't find that until 2 or 3 hours in, and I believe that's how they got in and took that site down.
Okay. All right.
All right. I'm feeling a little bit better that you gave some good answers to my CIO. Anything more that I can do for you, Andy?
Currently, no. We would like injects. Keep them coming. Like the challenges. If there was a pre-configured, or there was a list of configurations for how the email was talking to the e-commerce site, we'd love to receive that so that we can hopefully put that on a different box and have those 2 back up and working so our clients can actually receive confirmation of their purchases.
And do you have someone to go to in the event itself that can help you think through or provide some things that perhaps are out of band? Or are you kind of basically stuck with what you have?
Currently, we're a little bit stuck with what we have. 2 of our machines. Some of my team members don't feel the most confident in the fact that they'll be able to get them back up and running. However, part of my other team, we do feel confident that the machines we do have up and running right now, including the security onion, which I believe we'll be able to get back, we can keep those up for the majority or the rest of the competition.
All right, Andy, I don't want to keep you any longer. Go back and continue to slug away because I need those machines up and running, and you've got your priorities, so go, go, go.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you, Andy.